All right, so here we go in game 2. Looks like we're going to have Justin on the play, keeping his starting hand of 7. And Beky, you decided to take a mulligan. Why would you do something like that?
Probably because I didn't have land in my first hand. That seems to be a recurring factor for me. How do you feel about Justin not having a turn 1 play?
That seems pretty interesting. I could see him leading off with the turn 1 mountain to maybe feign the magma spray, but in his 3-color deck at this point, Mountain seems a little bit rough, and it looks like we've got a bunch of green cards in hand, and just
Key to the City.
Whole lot of nothing. Okay.
How do you feel about Key to the City?
Key to the City seems a little bit strange. That being said, if his plan is truly just to, I'm gonna get bigger faster and just try and beat down, I could see that attacking with Hazoret and being able to make it so that your creature's not blocked. Plus, if it's a poor man's way of enabling Hazoret.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So he does get to discard through Noose Constrictor and cast a Fiery Temper to kill the Wayward Servant as I try to have a zombie enter the battlefield. Pretty good play. It keeps me off of my 3rd zombie with Cryptbreaker, which I remember being a little annoyed with.
Yes. It seems so weird that this 2/2 snake is like really good. It feels really strong right now. When I don't necessarily think it should be, but all of these madness outlets. Yeah. Well, I guess the Noose Constrictor is the madness outlet, but the Fiery Temper and discarding the
Honored Hydra.
Yeah. For value.
What good value too.
Yes. But looks like he's stuck on his lands and not going to be able to embalm that anytime soon. What do we got over
I'm
there?
trying to Grasp of Darkness. In my mind, I play Grasp of Darkness like he has to discard
2 cards.
All 3 of them.
3 cards.
He has to discard 3 of his cards, but instead he just Blossoming Defenses, and I was worried about Blossoming Defense going into game 2 anyway because I'm trying to spot removal and pump through for as much damage as possible, so that kind of hurts to have my opponent play the thing that I'm worried about. I'm also really surprised that he doesn't embalm as soon as possible.
That's true.
He plays Ronus, which I guess is kind of smart. You're hoping that you just embalm next turn, swing with Ronus. But in my opinion, I would have played the Hydra sooner. It's more power, more toughness, faster.
Yeah, it's super difficult for you to deal with. I think that goes into the strategy of the deck. It's trying to play a little bit more mid-range. It can get bigger faster, whereas your deck, the zombies are a little bit lower to the ground, and you do have to wait till the Lord or till turn 5.
Yeah, exactly.
When you can cast Liliana's Mastery before you can start dealing with the bigger zombies. But if he's attacking in with a Ronus and being able to make it unblockable, then it's a 4-turn clock, and it can start pumping some of the other things. And
I think at that point, he also decides to do that because he does have the Magma Spray in hand, and he is just thinking like, oh, if she plays a Lord, I need to get rid of one of those creatures and exile it as fast as possible. I might have almost even just played the Magma Spray on the Dread Wanderer, get it out of the way as fast as possible while I had the mana open. Kind of
already on my wavelength. I was gonna say, what from your perspective, what is the worst target to have get Magma Sprayed?
Because I have 2 Cryptbreakers, the Dread Wanderer is the easy answer. If I just had the Dread Wanderer and the Cryptbreaker, maybe you hit Cryptbreaker, just because after the first game, like, the entire reason I won was drawing a bunch of cards. And so watching me have multiple Cryptbreakers on the field might feel kind of bad if that's how game 1 went. But I think that he makes the right call continuing here, playing the Hydra as soon as possible. That thing's really scary for me to see. It's a big 6/6. My 1-drop creatures are pretty far away from dealing with that.
Yeah, 6/6 with trample as well. Just ugh.
Yeah, it's not something that my deck can very advantageously block, and especially when he has a Key to the City that's just going to keep it from being blocked anyway.
Yeah, he's kind of just building the, all right, I've got these really big, ugly things, and I've got to push them through. Okay, so you've got basically 2 turns to deal with this.
Yeah, exactly. He's stopping to see what the requirements are for returning Dread Wanderer. Dread Wanderer has a lot of text on it for what it is. So you have to pay 3, have 1 card in hand or less, and also only cast it at sorcery speed. I didn't think it was very good at first. I was like, that's way too many stipulations for a creature like that when there's things like Scrap Heap Scrounger, which I feel like is a little bit easier.
No, but it sounds like 2 power for 1 mana is pretty good.
Yeah, 2 power for 1 mana is pretty solid.
Being a zombie.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's also kind of sad when it comes into the battlefield tapped and you want to do something like tap zombies with Cryptbreaker to draw cards, but... The thing about Dread Wanderer that I just keep assuming, even though this doesn't make any sense, is that it can't block. Yeah, no, that's definitely a Scrap Heap Scrounger thing, too.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so my thinking that it can't block isn't completely unfounded.
Yeah, no, it's not. Not at all. I mean, I don't block with it very often, though it does block better than a lot of other 1-drops.
That's true. Now you just, no, not quite at the 6 zombie territory of being able to draw 2 cards a turn. But even then,
I feel bad doing it at this point when he has something like 11 power plus the Noose Constrictor on the field. Mm-hmm. His board state just looks very scary compared to, even though I did just play a Mastery and my zombies are all bigger, I know that he has a ton of removal, and I know that he just has a ton of things. Like, he has the key to the city to enable all these things, and he has the mana to do so as well.
Exactly. Interestingly, being at 9, you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you've got 12 points of toughness. Mm-hmm. So I guess he can make the Noose Constrictor really big and get in. He can attack with the Ronus. He doesn't necessarily have to give the snake unblockable, just because if you want to block, sure. Mm-hmm. Like I from his position, I would gladly trade off with a bunch of your creatures.
That's me saying that I want a symbolism that the Hooded Hydra is involved.
Yes, there being another Hooded Hydra in the graveyard, it makes sense. It's such a weird position to be in, where now on both sides you have to start thinking of like, okay, how can I just die next turn? Mm-hmm. Because the zombie deck is certainly like, you just play another Liliana's Mastery and he swings out with everything. He just dies.
And it's very scary when he has something like a Key to the City in play, and I took out Anguished Unmaking. I can't get rid of that Key to the City, and he can make something unblockable, especially something like a Honored Hydra. Even Ronus, I'm at 9 life. There's not all that much that I can actually do aside from hope to draw a removal spell to get rid of those things.
Yes. So it looks here like the Key to the City was targeting the Ronus? No, it was
the Hydra here.
Oh, targeting the Hydra. Okay. And being able to pump it to give it +2/+0 and trample. It already has trample kind of inherently.
So I think I go to 1 here.
Yeah, you take 8.
Which also makes my options for drawing into something with the Cryptbreaker pretty bad, because I can't actually do it.
Yes. I thought it was pretty interesting here that I could have seen an attack with everything, and making the Ronus unblockable just to guarantee, oh no, a little bit of a earthquake, just to guarantee those 5 points of damage, because being able to give either the snake and discarding a card trample and being able to get through, or the snake the other snake, I guess the Hydra is so big anyway, if you want to commit a bunch to blocking the Hydra, then sure, because he can just make the Ronus unblockable again in following turns.
Yeah, exactly. So it feels pretty bad that I have to Declaration Stone a creature that's already going to be exiled here, but I just need something to get rid of the trample damage if for some reason I was able to block. Because I think at this point he has no cards in hand.
Nope. But
it doesn't matter, he can just discard whatever he draws and swing in for lethal, so...
Yeah, and he's kind of at the point too where he just has to pump something. Has to pump the snake, and then Ronus becomes active. Sure. Attack in for 9.
I'm swinging with the wrong thing. The Diregraf Colossus is supposed to be the Cryptbreaker. I have those two swapped.
Swing in for 8.
I'm a little flustered from being so low, and here I realize that I have the wrong things tapped. There we go.
And
Diregraf Colossus isn't really crap.
Colossus still tapped, that's fine.
I know that I'm dead at this point. There's not really anything I can do, no matter what. He doesn't even need to bring back the Hydra.
Because, I mean, I guess the Hydra. Well, he does need to bring back the Hydra in order for the Ronus to attack.
He can just pump the...
Yeah, he could just pump the snake, of course, yeah.
With his mana.
But I guess at least that way he knows that.
He made sure.
Yes, that's true. And he has the two, I guess, the two attackers. It might have been better just to give something trample just in case. I don't know.
Just in case?
Yeah, I think he kind of sealed he had the game sealed at that point, though.
Exactly, most definitely.
Yeah. So... Didn't really see many. We saw the Magnum sprays, which we anticipated those coming in, so that makes sense. I wonder if we see Sweltering Suns. I guess just for you want to get off to a little bit more, a little bit quicker of a start.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see. In game 1, I saw like 2 lords. I want to see as many lords as possible, and I want to get to them as soon as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well,
go wider, faster.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, especially because you just like it's difficult. His deck doesn't really block all, I guess, that well. You're just like, sure.
His deck attacks well with a big dude. Mine goes wide and also attacks, and I'm just hoping to get around the things that he has.
Yeah, that makes sense, and hopefully not get hit too bad by a Sweltering Suns.
Yeah, we hope to avoid those as much as possible and avoid Ronuses as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, dear. Well, let's see what happens in Game 3.
So let's see.